Hi, this is Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV with an NFL preview for this Sunday, September the 17th, game between the Seahawks and Lions. I'm going to let you know the best way to play this game and make some money on Sunday afternoon in week 2 of the NFL. Quick reminder to join me as well for my NFL Fade the Public video each and every weekend here on this channel as well. And speaking of the public info, let's look at that right now. Now, it's early week, but it does look like the public will be on the Lions in this game, but nothing out of the ordinary. Obviously, in general, the public normally sides towards favorites, especially when they're coming off a win. And no surprise that the public wants nothing to do with the Seahawks right now, as they're coming off one of the worst losses in week 1. And anybody who had survivor pools, many people were eliminated. In fact, over 600 people in the Circa Survivor, $1 million Survivor, were eliminated when the Seahawks lost outright as a 4.5-point favorite at home against the LA Rams. Keep in mind, Seattle is now 1-9 against the spread their last 10 games, going back to the second half of last season. You know, they started off surprisingly well last year, and they went just 1-8 down the stretch, including a playoff loss. Now they failed to cover again. So the Seahawks are the coldest team in the NFL against the spread right now at 1-9 ATS heading into week 2. Meanwhile, the Detroit Lions, the hottest team against the spread for several years now. You know, up until the middle of last season, the Lions had gone 4-23-1 straight up over a 28-game span. And now they've gone 9-2 straight up since. They finished last year on an 8-2 run, finished 9-8 overall, just missed the playoffs. Season win total set at 9.5 this year. They go into Kansas City last Thursday night. They pulled the outright upset on Thursday Night Football as a 4.5-point road dog. So that means they're now on a 9-2 straight up run after going just 4-23-1 their previous 28 games. Head coach Dan Campbell's only 13-21 now in his third year in Detroit, but he's 24-10 against the spread. By far the best moneymaker in the NFL the past few seasons have been the Detroit Lions under Dan Campbell. So it's understandable why we've seen such a jump in this line. The question becomes, is the value now gone? The look-ahead line before week 1 was going to be Detroit -2.5 to -3. That was a bettable line at many sports books and casinos. Now it's -6. So based on last week's results, the fact that Detroit upset Kansas City, and more importantly that Seattle lost outright as a favorite to the Rams, it really got blown out in that game. We've seen the line double here, a full extra field goal added on. So instead of 2.5 or 3, you're now laying 6 with the Lions. So let's not look at the spread. Let's not try to give up that line value. Let's look at the total instead. In fact, the look-ahead over-under line last week was going to be 51.5. 51 is a very key number, about a 3 to 4% chance a game lands exactly on 51 points. A lot of scoring margins get you there. But now it's 47. So as we've seen the Lions have a field goal higher, we've seen the total drop more than a field goal from 51.5 now down to 47. And that's for mainly because Seattle's offense struggled last week against the LA Rams. Really nothing misleading in that 30-13 loss at home. There were no turnovers in the game. Seattle was out first down 27-13 by a Rams offense that really struggled last year. Rams had a 426 to 180 total yard edge. Seahawks had just 3.9 yards per play. But this is a Seattle offense under Geno Smith last year that was pretty potent. Head coach Carroll's been just fantastic off losses during his career. Now, I know it's just one loss this season, but of course the Seahawks finished last year with that playoff loss against San Francisco. So technically back-to-back losses. And a great angle coming from Mark Lawrence is the fact that the Seahawks have been just money after back-to-back losses. In fact, under Pete Carroll, 21-5 straight up, 25-1 against the spread after consecutive losses. Now, of course, one last year, one this year, so it's not technically probably the right situation, but not looking to get in front of all that extra line value in the Seahawks. So let's look at the total instead, and I think the over does have some value now at 47. And the first thing to point out is this is a revenge game for the Lions after that 48-45 loss last year. The total in that game, by the way, was just 49, and the two teams each had over 520 yards of offense. There was over 1,000 yards of offense and 93 points scored. Nothing misleading about that high-scoring shootout last year that easily went over the 49. In fact, both teams almost got over the total on their own, and I think that'll continue again this week. Another high-scoring game. We get very good line value at 47. So once again, we're going to play this game, Seattle-Detroit. Take a look at over 47 on Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock Eastern kickoff. Have you found this information useful? Be sure to give the video a thumbs up, a like. Leave me comments below. I read all the comments and I reply back. And don't forget to hit subscribe and that bell for instant alerts when my college football top 25 and NFL Fade the Public videos go live this weekend right here on WagerTalk TV. And if you like my official best bets, go to my page right now, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, and use promo code STEVE99 and get a full 30 days of pro football and or college football for just $99, but you must have promo code STEVE99, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. Don't forget to check out more great college and pro football preview videos coming up next right here on Wager Talk TV.